The reason I got into quilting was because I realized that my family, after all the years of being a graphic designer, they had no clue what I actually did. So I was looking for something that would be a way to be remembered by my family generations from now. I was born and raised in Morrilton, Arkansas. In the 7th grade, my art teacher, Jim, thought that it would be a good idea for everybody in the class to make a quilt. I thought that that was the stupidest thing in the world, because why would I do that? I was a boy. Goodness, it took 25 years between then for me to think, oh my God, that buttonhole stitch is tremendous in my life.
Tom is very ingenious, very creative. His drawings, his artwork was totally different from everybody else's.
My pieces are fun and whimsical and always embellished. I put beads and button and fringe and yo-yos. I love yo-yos. I put everything on my quilts. I love to be a technician. I love it. I love working to make it perfect. My quilts, no matter how many gewgaws and trinkets I put on them, are structurally sound. They're not gonna fall apart. I wash them all. My first important quilt, I designed a pattern for HGTV. That was like my first important quilt, and it was called Sparkling Vases. It takes me more time usually to embellish a quilt than it does to make it, because I try to put everything in so that you end up with surprises each time you look at it. There are just a few rules about beading, and the main rule is never pour out more beads than you're willing to pick up. Because you know it's never a matter of if, it's just a matter of when.
Let's talk about thread. I love your optimism.
It's just a reality. They don't weigh anything. Don't sneeze. Yeah. My partner, Bill, of 19 and a half years, was dying, and we didn't know how long he would have to live. While I was taking care of Bill, my mother was going through cancer treatments, and on top of that, I had lost my job. So I don't know how many more crises somebody could have on top of each other, but I racked them up. When I was in the hospital, I nearly died or came incredibly close to it 3 different times. My official diagnosis is autoneuropathy. My brain doesn't talk to my muscles, and that creates a problem. Like half of my bladder doesn't quite work, and my bowels doesn't work, and my stomach.
Tom Russell was my dearest friend.
She is unending for her love for me. And she did more than anybody could have done, because she understood me and she understood what I needed, even when she would have to fight with doctors to take care of me. It's taken 1.5 years to put this Humpty Dumpty back together again. But I had a lot of help from a lot of King's horses and a lot of King's men, and one incredibly big queen. The short story is, I'm a miracle. I'm a miracle just like everybody else, but I've had an experience to let me see what miracles are all about. I was messed up, and I'm going to use the word messed up instead of what I usually use, but let's just say it's more colorful. I am blessed by what has happened. I've never regretted, and I've never said, oh, why me? Because it's like, why not me? And I don't ever want sympathy, because why feel sorry for me? I don't. I've always loved adventure, and adventures are not always wonderful. Even Indiana Jones, when he's going to get that Holy Grail, had a little bit of obstacle to get to before. So for me, my adventure is sometimes just
seeing what my body's going to do today. And more importantly, how am I going to address it and how am I going to look at it? When that phrase that people use but they don't adhere to of stopping to smell the roses, I do that every day, because even when it's bad, how miraculous is it that I get to go through it? And if you stop and you appreciate, then you truly see that there are miracles everywhere, absolutely everywhere.